Hey everybody, tacticangel here, back to talk a little bit about World of Warships Legends. Today, we're just going to be running down some news for the April 2020 update, additional media coming out around it, and of course a few bits of channel news. These are all going to be kind of mixed together, so no index for this video, sorry. First, with the update, we have the full introduction of Russian destroyers, so you can now level them all the way up to the Tashkent. Replacing them in early access are the Russian battleships, consisting of the Gangut and a small collection of Russian fantasies. These early access ships can be obtained in Soviet crates and big Soviet crates. The lesser Soviet crates can be purchased in the Admiralty with Imperials, the new currency for the campaign. The big Soviet containers may be won through different means or purchased with doubloons, if that's how you like to spend your money. You have the chance to earn some of these Russian loot boxes by playing the game and participating in 2 campaigns that will run the length of this update. The first of these 2 campaigns is called To Tame a Dreadnought. The ultimate reward for this campaign is the Russian commander, I'm very careful not to say Soviet commander, Mikhail Kedrov. Here you can see the different things that you can actually win through this first campaign. As it relates to advancing through it, you have 3 weeks to collect 975 renown, and it just so happens there's exactly 975 renown available, so you will need every bit of it. As far as the weekly missions, here you go. Week 1, actually this week has the most renown at stake, which may or may not motivate you. The tasks here are not particularly challenging since you can achieve them from tier 3 on up, but you will need to place in the top half of your team several times. The rest of this seems reasonably doable in just about any ship other than a destroyer. Not that it is impossible by any means to score this number of citadels in a destroyer, it would just take a little extra effort. Week 2 has fewer points at stake, but will require hitting people a lot of times with secondary guns. The best ships to accomplish this are, of course, the German battleships, by and large, due to their fast firing and generally longer range secondary guns. The Nassau, the Arkansas, and Bismarck probably would be my top 3 for this task. In week 3, we have the normal amount of play required for the endurance trials, but your shakedown trials are pretty easy, with the exception of this 3rd installment here, which has to do with base defense, capture, and assisted capture. I guess you wouldn't really say it's so much hard as somewhat tedious and annoying, so although there are the least points available in this last week of the campaign, make sure you leave a little bit of time because it's hard to really say how long this base objective is going to take you. As a brief mention, the screen to purchase the Admiralty Backing has changed, and it kind of threw me off, so I thought I would mention it. If you show up to purchase Admiralty Backing, it will ask you to press square, or whatever that button is on the Xbox. And once you do that, it will take you to another screen that actually shows you how much Admiralty Backing costs, in this case 1,250 doubloons for this half season, or what it would take to buy it out completely. You can also fiddle about down here to see exactly what you would be getting if you didn't feel like scrolling all the way to the right on the last screen, where everything's a little bit easier to see. And of course, you can choose to purchase the Admiralty Backing at any time. Rewards are retroactive, so only purchasing the backing once you know that you can actually complete it is probably a good idea. One other note about this, there is a mysterious Naval Academy thing in the store. It gives you some sort of quest, and those of you who are wondering, that personal mission is to win 10 games. Essentially, this is a half-price universal commendation if you can win 10 or more games after purchasing it, so not too bad. The second half of the campaign is the heroic Oleg campaign. Oleg is a protected cruiser and a premium tier 2 Russian ship you can earn through this campaign. There isn't a lot of information on this right now other than that it exists, and now Caligula can die a happy man thanks to the inclusion of this boat in World of Warships Legends. Other things you can expect from this update is another season of ranked battles, though you might call this things that tacticangel sadly doesn't have time for I think this is a big deal for people who point it out whenever I forget to mention ranked battles. There are 2 seasons for this update. The first season, which is Season 4, brings us back to Tier 5 again. The full rules are on the screen, but I will draw attention to 2 major changes. No more than 2 people can be in any one division, and no more than 2 destroyers can be on any one team. The other rules are all pretty similar to older campaigns. The rewards you can earn for Season 4 are listed there on screen as well. I recommend you may want to pause that if you want to read all of them. After a week off, we will get Season 5, which is going to be the first season that takes place at Tier 6. I've put the guidelines for Tier 6 up. They are very, very similar to the guidelines for Season 5, and the only real difference I can see here are that the number of ranks in the irrevocable ranks come in a little bit differently. In this case, we'll have 10 ranks instead of 13. As for rewards, I'll throw them on the screen for a few seconds, so again, feel free to pause this video if you want to read them all. There is now a new photo mode that has been added to the game, and this is a picture of my Prince Eugen. One quick note, if you give it a moment or two, this little menu on the bottom of the screen will actually disappear. You can do this by hitting L2, which I believe is called the left trigger button on Xbox. There are a few new quality of life options in the settings menu. The first is the ability to make your heads-up display, or HUD, larger or keep it the standard size. This is nice, but we also have a new option for National Voices. If you choose National Voices, which is something you will need to opt into, any in-game commands you send to your teammates will be in the language of the ship you are controlling. But also any commands they send you will be equally indecipherable. On Wargaming's stream, they did say they were going to add something so that maybe you could tell what the other person is asking in the future, but that did not make it into this patch. For now, it at least adds some pleasant variety to people who like to spam the command wheel, and even if I only understand American, British, and some of the German, I actually really like this, and I do enjoy making up what the other commanders are trying to say. There was one change to spotting, which will keep ships visible for at least 3 seconds. I haven't noticed this so much, so I'll just leave it on the screen for a second, but it is a thing. In terms of premium goods, there will be several new ships entering the store over this update. They are scheduled as such. No dates specific to any one of these ships at this point. I will also make a momentary note about HMS Gallant, which was scheduled to be released last update. They do intend to release this ship at some point, however, Wargaming did not say when it would actually come to the game, though you can see it played in the stream. So, it's going to be hard to predict when that's going to happen, but I will be sure to let you know when it does. In terms of some miscellaneous stuff in channel news, Wargaming did say they may offer containers for credits at some point in the future, but they don't want to overdo it. There is a new special animation if you use radar on the Baltimore Chapayev or Edinburgh, and only if you happen to be using a PlayStation 4 Pro or Xbox One X. At least, according to the live stream, that's just for now, to see how they like it. And if they do like it, they did say they may be willing to add things for, say, hydroacoustic, but do not consider that to be definite news. That's just a possibility. And though there are not Soviet containers for purchase with credits, I did notice one thing in the store, so if you happen to need more additional commander crates, they are actually purchasable, at least as of this moment, in this 3-box combo for about 10 million credits. As for content on my channel, considering the campaign is about Mikhail Kedrov, I'm going to actually do another The Man, The Math, The Legend video about him within the next week. And since Prince Eugen has been released as another premium global XP cruiser, look for that review this weekend as well. Also of note, World of Warships is entering its soft, or sorta, anniversary, with the game having been released about a year ago on console. And I do want to thank everybody who subscribed to this channel over that year. There's been at least one of you every day since this game has been released, and I'm really honored that you would gain something from the videos I do, whether it's a bit of history, little help with strategy, or the subtle reassurance that even decent players slam face first into islands sometimes. In any case, starting today, there are some goodies available to celebrate that soft anniversary, and a series of missions. In addition to this, the first win bonus returns for 2 weeks only, giving you some extra stuff for the first win with a ship between April 16th and April 30th. This is a one-time only win, so it's separate from the first win bonus on every day, while every ship from tier 4 on up has something to gain. There will also be some sales in the store, which you can see on screen. And though I'm not trying to convince you to buy anything, I would draw your attention to the Grafspee, because I know a lot of people have noted in the comments how much they wanted to purchase this ship or win it at some point, and it does look like it will be here for at least a little bit for 8,000 doubloons. In any case, that has been the news for this update of World of Warships Legends. I hope you enjoyed this quick rundown, and I'll see you guys on the next one.